Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to another episode of Higurashi. Uh, Natsumi arc. Last time, we got started. We met a new cop whose name was Tomo. And Fujita! I remember! And they were investigating the Crispy Takano murder. And now we're going to Natsumi, who is Kimiyoshi's granddaughter, I assume, or someone related to Kimiyoshi. And yeah, and we're in the city that Tomo is stationed in, right? Her prefecture, so I'm sure they will meet. She will be the Oishi of this game, probably. I heard a loud voice sharply calling me. The surreal experience forced me out of my dream. Needless to say, it was my mom's voice. Thump, thump, thump. I heard the sound of footsteps climbing the stairs and approaching. I put a blanket over my head to blot the sound. Waking up would have been a waste. I wanted to get back to dreaming. Oh, new room? Not Keiichi room? Look how cute this room. Oh, look how cute this room is. Actually adorable. Nice stuffed animal placement and some great art. I rate it. However, Mom opened the door to my room with no regard for my modest happiness and slowly entered my room. She has like ugly green for her color. What kind of green is that? It's like yucky green. Illegal entry to a teenager girl's room. This was a huge violation of my privacy. I exaggeratedly murmured this in my sleep. Of course, that didn't reach my mom's ears. Hey, no bully. Ugh, so noisy. But Mom was right about that. I wasn't getting enough sleep. Anyway, the homework assignment yesterday was awful. Banking my head to complete it by today took a tremendous amount of time. Still, staying up late at night was problematic, but I wondered if missing sleep due to studying was more acceptable. Sorry, Mom. Didn't mean to skip. God, Mom, you're pretty energetic early in the morning. Vaguely thinking that, I realized that Mom was starting to go off on another of her never-ending rants, so I tried to escape to the safe zone in my futon. But my enemy was formidable. In a blink of an eye, whoosh, my blanket was snatched and thrown aside. Mm. Can't blame me. After a small sigh, Mom left the room. I listened to confirm she was gone, then used my toes to grab the blanket that fell under the bed and pulled it out. Then I was about to fall into a world of peaceful sleep again. Mom probably doesn't know how stressful it is to attend school in the city. Sleep should not be taken lightly. Plus, it's tiring trying to get along with unfamiliar people. And I couldn't have predicted that city life would be so different from the town I came from. It's a big deal with a huge handicap and a lot of stress. I remember my introduction on my first day at the new school. On my homeroom teacher's urging, I stood at the corner of the podium, scared. In front of me was a classmate raised in the city that I couldn't believe was the same age. Everyone looked so cute, so cool, and on the other hand was bashfully wearing an unfamiliar uniform like a little kid at the Shinchi Gosan festival. It made me feel strangely out of place, as if I suddenly appeared in a school drama on TV. Finally, the greeting was over. But for everyone in class, Otonomiya was a place they never heard of, so they responded flabbergasted. Is it that far away? I guess it was farther than I thought, because I guess Tatano was. The fake crispy Tatano was pretty far away. And as soon as class began, the teacher started writing words and formulas that seemed to be from another world. It was a battle of knowledge I had never seen before. Although I managed to open a textbook somehow, the beginning of a difficult problem was already written on the blackboard. I desperately copied it into my notebook, and even though I wanted to hear the explanation, the teacher only spoke about the main points and quickly moved on to the next topic. At the speed we were progressing, I had no chance to ask questions. I had to move my pencil with breathtaking speed. And to my surprise, the other students maintained their composure while writing in their notebooks. At the point where I was no longer able to catch up, I seemed to lose sight of the destination and became a lost child. I didn't even have a chance to speak up. And surprisingly, the other students continued writing in their notebooks without losing their composure. I couldn't believe it. I was so far from catching up, I didn't even know where I should aim. I was completely lost. Now I thought it was too late to keep up in the city. My precious time had already ended, and it saddened me. And the most troubling part, during the break time, I could overhear everyone loudly talking. These girls were chatting about their favorite brand at some trendy shop, about men putting on makeup bands, magazines that they don't sell in Otonomiya, and love stories. Words I have never heard before were flying back and forth at high speed. Even with my full attention focused on listening, none of it made any sense. I could hardly believe we spoke the same language. It was communication from a foreign culture. Meanwhile, I just felt like an alien. My first day was only beginning, and my longing for the city life was transformed into anxiety and disappointment. I was overwhelmed. What should I do? Will tomorrow be any better for me? I mean, I can imagine it being rough. Obviously I'm not from the country, so I can't exactly relate, but just, you know, she was from Okinomiya too, so it's not like her schooling was Hinamizawa tier, where it's kind of more of a meme. But yeah, the transition from country to city is pretty rough. At least it's like a well explored topic in stories and stuff. And then while I was feeling beaten, that was exactly when a helping hand was extended to me. New character just dropped? Sprite me? Yo! Chisato. Okay. And we gotta look at the female uniform. It's kind of weird. It's like a dress with a slit with a skirt also. I was holding my head down in my desk alone when I heard a voice beside me and looked up. There, a cheerful girl with pigtails was staring at me with a smile on her face. I rushed upright quickly and struggled to squeeze out a reply. Suddenly, I turned my eyes out the window. Good weather, but today it's raining. Cute blush thingies. Apparently, I had mistakenly expressed a sentiment from my heart. Then, when I saw the laughter rising to this girl's face, I knew I was being made fun of. Of course, come on, I put everything I had into an angry glare, then... No bully. I opened my mouth just a bit to reply and bare the whites of my teeth, trying to get control of the situation from this girl. What? I stupidly raised my voice upon hearing that unexpected question. I'm sure my eyes turned into dots and my mouth was half open.
別に私しばらく風邪もひいてませんが。本当に？体が重いとか熱っぽいとかは？あ、腹痛でも恥ずかしがらずに正直に言ってみてよ。女同士なんだからさ。私本当に何も。
Nothing, it must be. In response to that, the girl standing before my eyes looked straight at me. It was making me more and more anxious. First off, who asks, "Are you sick?" as the first thing you say to a girl you don't know? Am I acting so obviously abnormal that even a stranger can see it?
私そんなに顔色悪いですか？いや、全然。むしろ健康そのもの。
Shake. That was completely unexpected. I struggled to avoid falling out of my chair. I fell over here. If I fell over here, by tomorrow everyone would be laughing at me, not joking.
なんですかあなたは。いきなり。でもさ、病気ってのはパッと見だとわからないもんだよ。
True, I guess.
特にやばい病ほど体の奥深くに潜伏するものだから、気づいた時には。
And obviously this is kind of ironic because we know she has, well, I'm assuming she has the Hinamizawa syndrome and bad things are going to happen later in the story.
そうなんですか？
So words of truth.
そうなんだよ、転校生さん。あ、私、君吉です。君吉夏美。
I shyly repeated my name the same way I said during homeroom this morning, and Pigtail Girl grabbed me by the shoulders and looked into my eyes with a twinkle in her eyes.
そうなんだよ、君吉さん。
Beef music?
いや、この際だからフレンドリーに言わせてもらおう。夏美さん。病気というものは怖い。とっても怖い。
Facts?
初めは大したことないと思って放置していたら、あっという間に悪化して取り返しがつかなくなる。そうなったら怖いでしょ？怖いよね？いや、怖いはずだ。違うか？はい。怖いです。
Just generally scared.
そのためにも医学において重要なのは現在健康であることではない。これから健康でいられるかというその一点に尽きるのだ。つまりそれは何か。それは隠れ潜む病気を早期にあぶり出し発見し撲滅すること。
Okay, I think she's just a health enjoyer or a disease hater.
家内安全七国宝章焼肉定食だ。であるからして今は健康だと思っていても定期的に健康診断を行うことがこの先長きにわたって日本を支えていく和光としての義務、いや使命、ロイヤルデューティーフリーなのだ。
Okay.
で、
Tomato.
何が言いたいわけ？
New character just dropped, and is she looking kind of cool? I actually kind of liked her. She looks kind of derpy in a good way.
悪いことは言わない。うちの病院に入院しなさい。あ、なんならこの私がこの手で事前に
Yeah?
予備診断を。そのワキワキと動く手はやめんか。
Oh. When you see that effect, you know someone's getting bonked. Suddenly, an unknown girl delivered a blow to the back of her head, and the girl with pigtails fell to the floor screaming.
痛いな。いきなり何すんのさ、タマコ。
Surprisingly, however, the pigtail girl was able to stand up and turn to her assailant. Unlike me, who was stunned just watching, the other girl broke in, swinging a dictionary. She sighed with exasperation and then began to speak.
それはそのまま私のセリフだっつうのちさと。初対面の子を不安がらせて楽しいのか、あんたは。彼女は転校してきたばかりなのに 明日から登校拒否にでもさせる気？失礼なことを言うわね、あんたは。私はとてもフレンドリーに自己紹介も兼ねて君吉さんに話しかけていただけよ。今の会話がフレンドリー？キャッチバーのお兄さんの方がよっぽど親しみあるっつうの。
Okay.
お願いだからこの学校のイメージをガタガタにしないでちょうだい。この程度の和訳茶でガタガタになる学校なんて将来が知れるというものよ。これからの時代は個性をいかに伸ばすかに教育の重きを置くべきなのよ。目指すはナンバーワンではなくロンリーワンってやつよ。それを言うならオンリーワンだっつの。
Okay.
孤独を愛する銀融詩人か。
So we got some wacky guys here in whatever this place is called. Starts with a K. A high-tempo conversation between these two girls was unfolding right in front of me. It was amusing, but it was so fast I could barely keep up. And when she finally noticed my surprise, the girl playing the part of the straight man in this comedy looked at me. Her smooth, light hair was cut a little above the shoulders. This girl was pretty good-looking. Yeah, I kinda liked her. She looks very interesting.
びっくりしたでしょ？え、ああ、いえ、はい。正直でよろしい。改めて、はじめまして。私は牧村珠子。
Makimura.
このクラスの学級委員長をやっています。
Oh, okay.
よろしくね、君吉さん。
Nice.
はい。こちらこそよろしくお願いします。で、私はこの子は1分以内に忘れていい。
Okay.
見かけは変だけど
Disrespect.
中身もやっぱり変だから。おいこら、友達に向かってそりゃどういう了見だ。友達？誰が？もう許さ。
Instantly defeated. Makimura was quick to take action. She angrily raised her hands toward the pigtailed girl, swinging a dictionary, and it made contact. The front cover vigorously smacked into the other girl's face, and then she dramatically fell on the spot. I was seeing an impressive brawl, but when I looked around, the surrounding reaction was cold. Rather, the people around even looked sympathetic. Perhaps these two had exchanges like this in class every day? But the whites of this girl's eyes were peeling. Has she collapsed?
大丈夫ですか？ああ、平気。見かけ以上に頑丈にできてるから、この子は。それに、なんせ最近
Oh.
お父さんだからね。
There you go. Free checkups. Oh, that's why she's a health freak. Because of her family, I guess.
もし大ごとになっても最高の医療で手当てしてもらえるから問題なし。そういう問題じゃ。
Saki? When I heard that name, I suddenly remembered. Come to think of it, I went to the biggest general hospital in this town with Grandma the day I moved here, and I feel like Saiki Hospital was its name. Then, could it be?
そう。知る人ぞ知る佐伯病院の一人娘なのだよ、私は。
Maybe they didn't cure Hinamizawa syndrome. Probably not.
自己紹介まだだったね。私は佐伯千里。よろしくね。
I hadn't noticed her recovery, but Saiki-san had apparently gotten up. She seemed to be acting grandly, like a lady, but her dignity was compromised by the swelling on her nose.
あと、呼び方はちーちゃんでもちーでも何でもご自由に。よろしくお願いします、佐伯さん。
Ignored.
いやー、ちーって呼んでよ。
Boink! Suddenly I was being hugged and instinctively let out a fierce cry. This Saiki-san might be a dangerous person?
古いです。
君吉さんマジで弾いてるじゃないの。
私のことをチーって呼ぶお願いを聞いてくれたら話してあげるけど。
そりゃお願いじゃなくて強制だ。それより鼻水拭きなさい。ほれ。
あ、本当だ。って誰のせいだ、誰の。
When Saiki-san finally released me, she snatched a tissue from Makimura-san and angrily blew her nose. Despite the current situation, more than anything, there was something I had to confirm.
何君吉さん。
それで私、どこが悪いんでしょうか。
A blank look. Makimura and Saiki-san widened their eyes and looked at my face. Maybe what I asked was a mistake, but if I actually looked sick, I needed to go to the doctor as soon as possible. Oh, we're laughing. Then... Oh, this sounds a banger.
あなたナイスキャラ。
Not only Saiki-san, but Makimura-san too, they both burst into laughter at once. I didn't understand the meaning behind their sudden bursts of laughter. While I scratched my neck, my eyes began to water and I started to panic. I didn't think it was that funny, but their laughter grew even bitter. Oh no. Flashback over. That was my first encounter with those two. Seems like fun characters. Since about that day, the two of them have been my best friends, and they taught me all about the city. Excellent tips like how to wear my school uniform and how to apply colored lipstick. Morning shampoo, how to make friends, and more. They taught me a lot that I didn't know about how to live this life. Ooh, dude, it's gonna be nice seeing all new CGs, I guess. Or backgrounds, I mean. And the three of us would go on what we called extracurricular lessons, going to a busy place like the front of the station. Going shopping, watching movies, chatting over fast food. I wasn't good with crowds, but everything felt fresh and it was fun. This urban life was full of anxiety, but thanks to my two friends, I was gradually growing familiar with it and beginning to enjoy it. God! Oyashiro! And a year later, I became accustomed to my life now, finding things I wanted to do little by little. This city girl wanted to improve her grades more and more. And then, more than anything, like most girls, I wanted to fall in love. If wishes come true, like the hero of a romance manga I read before, that person.
そうだ。千里ちゃんに借りていたあの漫画返さなくちゃ。それと、たまこちゃんにはカセットテープを貸して。
Cassette tapes. Eh? I like that sound. New sound just dropped. Every character gotta have their own sound, man. My brain slowly awakened and I began to wonder what time it is right now. I looked at the bedside alarm clock with my sleepy eyes. Uh-oh. Wow, I'm late, very late. I jumped up in a hurry, threw off my pajamas, and put on my uniform. Ugh, there's no time for a morning shampoo. I at least tried to comb my hair with a brush, but it was so tangled that I couldn't fix it. Besides, the person reflected in the mirror looked different from yesterday. There were huge pimples on her forehead, sitting there like uninvited guests. It's better to be late than show up looking uncool. Chisato-chan slept like this once before and carelessly came to school wearing a nightcap. Jeez. For a while, our classmates referred to her as the nightcapper. But Chisato-san was okay with it. She was cheerfully laughing along with them. I just can't understand the depth of her heart and her unlimited values. Wait, that sort of thing really doesn't matter.
うまくいかないよ。
I struggled hard to hide my acne with my bangs. Somehow I succeeded, but it took a long time and I only finished at the last minute. Run.
お母さんどうして起こしてくれなかったの？
She tried. It's your fault. Satisfied that I somehow managed to deal with my appearance, I ran down the stairs toward the dining room table and saw Mom having a relaxing breakfast.
何寝ぼけてるの？お母さん起こしたでしょ？
True?
夏美も返事したじゃない。
All true?
あれは返事じゃなくって、つまり、ああ、もういい。
朝ごはんは？
そんな暇ないよ。
夏美、あんたまさかダイエットしてるの？そんな不健康で不健全なこと、お母さん許しませんよ。
そうじゃないってば。
How did she interpret the situation that way? Where did this diet idea come from? Mom sometimes made flimsy remarks like this, like some kind of uncultured person. Mom insisted I should have breakfast, but I headed for the bathroom. There, I ran into Dad trimming his beard. I bashfully apologized and quickly washed my face. It was a rather rough wash. I couldn't complain about it, but Dad continued shaving behind me. I love having a kind and gentle father, but I can't always depend on him to act that way. But I guess that's inevitable, since he lives surrounded by 3 ladies. 3? So does she have a sister or grandmother? Besides, probably wouldn't be grandmother, because that would be Kimiyoshi's wife. Sister, I'm guessing. Besides, I could never imagine Dad exploding at a little word like Mom does.
なんだ夏美、思い出し笑いか。
Through the mirror, I saw Dad tilting his head when he saw me giggle.
なんでもないよ。なんだかうちってすっごく平和だなって。
そうかな。まあ確かに平和が一番。父さんの若い頃はな、ラブ&ピース。
なんか古い。
Haha, yikes.
それどころじゃなかった。
Shutting out the story about Dad's youth, I struggled with my tangled hair again. I managed to deal with the acne, but I was upset with the sleepy-head hair. Maybe I should shorten it like Tamako-chan. Oh, it is grandmother. Never mind. There you go. Looking back at the voice behind me, Grandma was inviting me in the door.
何おばあちゃん。
And maybe she's not granddaughter. She's just a relative of Kimiyoshi.
私
急いでるならおばあちゃんが髪言ってあげようか。
Ever since I was little, I love having Grandma do my hair. Her hands were wrinkly but warm. She was able to style my hair better and faster than I could do on my own. Besides, it was comforting to have Grandma gently stroking my hair.
夏美ちゃん、髪伸びたね。
お母さんより？
あの子も綺麗な髪だからね。
Grandma smiled and narrowed her eyes. Come to think of it, the neighbors often praise Mom for her beautiful hair. That sort of thing never happens for me, though, I humbly said with a blank expression. That would be like saying the side dishes at dinner were luxurious.
でもちょっと長すぎるかもね。なんならおばあちゃんが切ってあげようか。
いいよ。この町の子はみんな美容師さんに切ってもらうんだから。
そうなのかい？
雑誌モデルとか芸能人がよくやってる流行の髪型があってね。みんなでそれを真似してみたりするの。とっても可愛らしくなるんだよ。
A shadow cast over Grandma's expression as she looked into the mirror. Maybe I said something wrong. Yeah, but whatever. You're a kid. It happens.
そうかい。近頃は夏美ちゃんもずい ぶんおしゃれさになったしね。すっかりこの町に馴染んじゃったんだね。
I could feel Grandma's fingertips fill with strength. In the next moment, the brush caught the back of my hair and pulled a little.
ごめんね、夏美ちゃん。会いたかったね。いけないおばあちゃんだ。
Grandma stroked my head and blew on it. It started to tickle, so I got up to brush her hand away.
あ、夏美ちゃん。まだ終わっていないよ。もう少し。
I looked into the mirror and saw that some of my hair was trailing from my neckline, unable to be tied, but if I spent any more time on this, I would definitely be late.
いいのいいの。ちょっと無造作なのがいい感じだもん。ありがとう、おばあちゃん。
夏美ちゃん、よそ様の子みたいだよ。
One unexpected phrase from Grandma had me choked up. A child from far away. Why would she say that? What did that mean?
おばあちゃん。どうしたのそんな。
沖宮にいた頃は寝癖のままでも学校に行っていたのに。
Oh, so the same thing was kind of happening?
おばあちゃんは沖宮にいた頃の夏美ちゃんが可愛くて仕方ないよ。
おばあちゃん。
あ、嫌だね。年を取ると環境が変わったら人も変わるのは当たり前なのに。おばあちゃん、ふるさとが懐かしくてね。
After she said that, Grandma looked depressed, but she quickly raised her face up and smiled at me. Seeing that smile made me a little nervous, but I quickly let it go and glanced at my watch. Yeah, it's still okay. I'll manage somehow.
それじゃあ私、学校行くね。
あ、夏美ちゃん、まだ終わってないでしょ。
I had my hand on the sliding door ready to leave, but she suddenly caught me. Grandma gave me a sideways glance and a sticking smile.
お社様にお参りは？
Hooray to Oyashiro!
お社様にお参りしなきゃダメだよ。
You will literally die if you don't praise Hanyu.
そうでしょ、夏美ちゃん。
Grandma was smiling, but her eyes were narrow. Yo, Hanyu's shrine looking pretty nice. Grandma dragged me to a living room in front of the shrine. Right beside me, Grandma politely clasped her hands together and offered a wholehearted prayer. I followed suit and muttered words like magic spells. Whenever Oyasho-sama was brought up, Grandma started to act like a different person. She often gratefully told us Oyasho-sama is always watching. But on the other hand, Grandma also seemed afraid of being constantly watched. Oyasho-sama is the guardian of Hinamizawa, the village where Grandma was born, but I can't pray the way Grandma does. Grandma told me that Mom and Dad were united thanks to the blessing of Oyasho-sama, who is also the god of marriage, but I heard from Mom that they fell in love in college. And Mom was always unhappy with Grandma's obsession with Oyasho-sama. Yeah. After all that trouble I went through to adapt to the city, I often complained to Dad that I wanted to avoid practicing smelly country customs. Excuse me? Why are you describing it as smelly? When we left the old house in Okonomi and moved here, Grandma insisted on putting a shrine in the living room. Mom was strongly opposed to it, and eventually grew into a terrible Cold War. Mom and Grandma didn't speak with one another for a week. Dad stood at the forefront of the mother-daughter war, but maintained a neutral stance. But in reality, I think he was pretending not to see it because it was bothersome. Aside from the issue of Oyasho-sama, the family is quite close. The time I spent praying to Oyasho-sama with Grandma in this room with an inexplicable Shinto shrine feels bizarre and undesirable. Stool! Sorry, hydrating. We had physical education in the first period today, but I told everyone at the start that I had a cold, so I've just been watching class. In reality, I'm just skipping. Classic gym skipping move. Since I didn't get enough sleep and skipped eating breakfast, if I tried exercising in this condition, I would keel over and get taken to the nurse's office, and then school would call home, and I wouldn't want mom to get angry. Oops. Plus, today was Saturday, and I had important business to take care of later, so I needed to maintain my strength.
はい次準備はいい？
おっしゃー行くぜウォリアー
Today's exercise was the long jump. Everyone in class was gathered around the sandbox, excitedly discussing records and other topics. I was just an observer, sitting a bit uncomfortably in the shade, a short distance away all alone.
夏美、具合はどう？
New sprites just dropped? Gym uniform edition? Chisato-chan and Tamako-chan were concerned about me, so they came out of the class circle to sit with me and talk. And Chisato-chan placed her head on my forehead while looking me in the face.
熱はないみたいだけど喉痛い？体だるいとかは？
あ、ちょっとね。大丈夫？保健室で寝ていてもいいんだよ。平気。心配ないから。
Tamato-chan also looked at my face with a concerned expression. Both of them seemed to genuinely worry about me. That's why I couldn't tell them I just didn't get enough sleep.
それにしては元気なさそうだしさ。あ、いっそのこと千里の病院で見てもらえば？ね、千里。
そうだね夏美なら特別にお安くしとくよね
After she said that, Chisato-chan finally let out a laugh. Based on that alone, I couldn't tell if she was being serious or if that was some strange sales pitch. I answered, no thank you. Come to think of it, when Chisato-chan first introduced herself on my first day at school, she said, if you get sick, you can always visit my Saiki hospital, like another sales pitch. Of course, the whole class is a little uncomfortable about her, but it's still a class legend. I think she's a bright, fun, lovely girl. Her tastes and behaviors are something too. According to the class questionnaire, she ranked number 1 for girls you want as a bad friend and ranked on the bottom for girls you want as a girlfriend. That's rough. What the heck? Incidentally, for where I ranked, they will carry out another questionnaire after final exams this year, so we will find out then. I'm kind of looking forward to the results, but more than that, I'm anxious about it.
まあまあそう言わずにうちの病院はいいよナース服は薄いピンクに短いスカート
Nice.
お注射ですよなんてしゃがんだ時にチラッと見えるかすかな胸元の谷間を意識した V 字ネック
Nice.
そこいらの男衆なら鼻血ブーの代物だどうだ見たいだろ
いいよ。ちょっと風邪気味ってだけだから。
Also, no matter how cute the nurse's clothes are, I'm not interested. There's no reason for that. Furthermore, V neckline cleavage, I absolutely don't want to see that. Looking at that would be depressing.
この時間だけ休めば大丈夫だよ。病院なんて大げさだな。
それならせめて健康の印として体操着を着なさい体育委員としての
Yeep. After she delivered that ultimatum, Chisato-chan leapt into a 3.5 twist jump. No, it is quite an image. Wow. Then she proudly pointed with her index finger. I looked up at her in awe. I know I skipped that a little, but it's good. Alright, I didn't miss anything, really. Oh.
別に見学なんだから制服のまま までもいいでしょうか。
After saying that and letting out a quick sigh, Tamato-chan happily entered the struggle. Still, Chisato-chan was energetic, her eyes were blinking excessively, and she began to speak out in a hot tone.
何を言うかタマコ。いいか、よく聞け君吉夏美。前の学校はいざ知らず、この学校、そしてこのクラスでは体育の授業を受ける者は体操着を着るのが決まりなのだ。そしてそれは見学者もしかり。
そんなルール今初めて聞いたけど。
そもそも体育の見学とは何か。見学とは実技授業を休むにあらず、それならサボりと同じ。
Not wrong, I guess.
ならば違いは何か。それは授業に参加しているというただそれだけの事実だ。つまり見学者は皆の実技実演をその目にしっかと焼き付けてイメージトレーニングをしながら次の体育の授業でついてこられるように努力することが、いや本会なのだ。わかるかチミ。いやわかれ。わかってるよな。
It almost sounded like Hanyu.
つまり何が言いたいわけ？
私は夏美のブルマー姿が見たいんだ。
Okay.
ブルマー万歳。ビバボルマリアン。おう、はい。
Hi.
というわけなので履いてくださいブルマ。
風紀このアホをつまみ出して。
Rip.
夏美助けて。この妖怪モテない娘が私と夏美の仲を嫉妬してるの。誰が妖怪だ。
After she said that, Tamato-chan struck Chisato-chan on the head while she was still clinging to my body. I can't keep up with these two when they get like this, but if I was able to keep up with them, I feel I'd lose something important as a person. Boink. Anyway, Chisato-chan had me in a tight spot, a really tight spot. She was making my body her plaything, hugging, rubbing her cheeks, etc. This degree of physical contact was hard to deal with. Thanks to her incredible arm strength, her grip was so tight that I couldn't move and escape was no longer possible. Boing me? Also, all the girls around us could see us acting boisterously. Actually, some of the classmates have started to take the Kimiyoshi at Psyche couple theory quite seriously. Come on, stop staring at us, people.
夏美はちっこくて私の体にジャストフィットなのよね。
Just a fit though.
このまま抱き枕にしたい。そりゃ
千里ちゃん、
She squeezed me even tighter. I couldn't move. Wait a minute, Chisato-chan. If you keep this up, I'll get sick for real.
おーい、千里。夏美本気で苦しがってるよ。早く帰ってこーい。
Dead.
ごめんごめん。ついつい本音が出ちまったい。
With that, Chisato released my body. Then she stuck out her tongue at me. My mind was telling me that it looked really long, like a frog's tongue, but I wanted to dismiss that as my imagination.
でもさ、夏美、真面目に診察受けた方がいいんじゃない？夏風邪って結構タチ悪いんだよ。
大丈夫だよ。そんなオーバーな。
いや、オーバーじゃないよ。さっき抱きついた時、
Oh,
首の後ろにこれくらいのあざ見つけたしさ。
what that?
もしかしたらもっと深刻な病気って
Bruise on that? Was that from grandmother's hair treatment? I ran my hand across my neck to verify it, but of course it was in a blind spot that I couldn't see.
たまこちゃん、私の首の後ろどうなってるの？どれどれ？
Oh no, not this music.
これは
Unless it's a meme.
それにさ、なんだか夏美の顔、朝からとっても青白いし、ね、
Sorry, Natsumi, you have cancer.
これってあの病気の初期症状じゃなかったっけ？
かもね。どうしたもんかな。そうなの。どうしよ
When I noticed how serious these two reacted, I suddenly became anxious. I haven't had much of an appetite these days, and my body has sometimes felt dull. Many thoughts ran through me. What should I do?
万が一不治の病とかだったら。
Cooties?
サクッと注射でも打ってきたら。ぶっといやつ。
A fat shot. That's how you describe it.
注射はちょっとじゃなくてかなり怖い。
The scales teetered between incurable disease and extreme injections. Both of them sounded scary, both sounded painful. Ugh. When the two of them saw that I was suffering through the ultimate choice, they both looked at each other then. Memed on. Should have known when she said a fat shot. By the time I realized I'd been had, it was already too late. The two of them were holding their sides, laughing and diddling loudly. Get memed on.
引っかかった夏見ったら本気で悩んでるんだもん。もう千里ちゃんひどいよ。花子ちゃんも。
Chisato-chan pinched my cheeks with her fingertips, while looking into my face. When I covered my face with both hands, she went for my forehead.
もうかわいいわね。夏見ってばさ。なにごめんごめん。ちょっとからかっただけなの。どうせ夜更かしでもして寝不足って。
Oh, they knew! We're exposed! Tomato-chan guessed correctly, as I'd expect from the class president.
でも私本気で悩んじゃったんだから。そういう嘘はやめてって前にも言ったでしょ。
警備を決め込む夏美が悪い。
True. She hit the nail right on the head.
夏美は考えてることがすぐ顔に出るからね。今日だって見学届を出すときにもろ申し訳ないって後ろめたさが全開だったしね。もっと開き直ってもいいのにさ。
だって
ほんと夏美ってからかいがいあるわね。よしよし、かいいかいい。
ちょっと
Ani? Chisato-chan hugged me from behind and pressed her cheeks against mine. Little Rena flare in her too. If I continued receiving excessive or abnormal physical contact, maybe I'll actually start to like it. As if, because I'm normal.
千里ちゃんくすぐったいってば。
照れるな照れるな。減るもんじゃないんだしさ。夏美のほっぺたってほんとぷにゅぷにゅしてて気持ちいいんだよね。
やめてってもう。
ああ、女に生まれてよかったわ。可愛い女の子にこんな感じで触り放題だもんね。
そうね。あんたが男だったら間違いなく友達やめてるわね私。
Fair enough.
心配するな。無人島で二人きりになってもタマコには指一本触れないから。
Ouch.
それはよかった。変な病気移されたらシャレになんないもの。
私はバイキンか。
Like usual, I bitterly smiled at their exquisite comedy, and then I heard a voice calling Chisato-chan from far away.
千里走り幅跳びあんたの番だよ。早く準備しな。
ね。それじゃあ夏美、また後で。
頑張ってね。
そうよ。あ、夏美。今日はバイトの日だよね。
授
Ooh.
業終わったらすぐ行くつもり。
なら一緒に車乗ってく？私、今日は父さんとお出かけだから。
Free ride?
好きなんだ。
いいの？じゃあご一緒しようかな。
I cheerfully nodded to Chisato-chan's gracious proposal. It's not surprising. Chisato-chan's family runs a major hospital, so sometimes she rides there in a car after school. It was an elegant car with a very comfortable ride. At first I hesitated to ride together with her, but now honestly I felt lucky to have the opportunity.
まあ、あれでタバコの匂いがもう少し薄けりゃ最高なんだけどね。
そうなの？私全然感じないけど。
Cigarette enjoyer?
それにソファーがふかふかで気持ちいいよ。
なら決まりね。はあ、密室で夏美と二人っきり。そして邪魔する者は誰もいない。何でもいいからさっさと行け。な、
Punted? Pow! Yeah, I knew what she did. Felt like it hit more than a punch. Pow! Tamato-chan kicked Chisato-chan in the butt, but Chisato-chan stuck out her tongue and pulled down her eyelid, then dashed away toward the athletic field. It's probably impossible for either of them to become the #1 girl you'd want as a girlfriend. In the next class questionnaire, actually the boys were uncomfortably watching that entire exchange sob. They probably see me in the same way, but Chisato was bright and friendly like the sun. I loved it.
千里はいつも元気いっぱいだよね。
Don't kill her.
見てるだけでこっちも元気になっちゃう。
そうだね。足も速いし男子もタジタジしてるよ。
Chisato-chan was making a big fuss involving other classmates. Tomato-chan was watching in awe. Tomato-chan is actually somewhat introverted. She told me that when she was young, she would shut herself in a room and read books. Even so, in the beginning I was surprised to learn that Tomato-chan was one of the bright scholars in the school, and the naughty, vivacious Chisato-chan were best friends. Apparently the two of them were childhood friends. Of course, they also seemed perfectly compatible for each other. I was envious of how well they got along.
今日はいい天気だね。
For real this time.
足焼いちゃおうかな。
After she said that, Tamato-chan took off her socks. Then she threw her bare white feet out into the sunshine.
あれ？
Oh, I fixated on Tamato-chan's toes. She had a bright red nail polish painted on her toes.
やっぱ気づいた？先生には内緒にしてね。真面目ないい子ちゃんで通ってるんだから。
Tomato laughed and giggled, then she stretched her arms up to the sky. For me, the pedicure is a symbol of an adult woman, like you see on TV in the unknown world of actresses and models. But even Tomato-chan, who is rarely fashionable, had a pedicure. It was mundane, nothing strange, no big deal. And yet, even for such minor thing, I could feel the difference between us. I felt trapped by my lonely feelings, stabbing me in the chest.
あれ？
Suddenly, I noticed someone wearing a school uniform in the flower bed on the other end of the field. A person was sitting there in the shade of the buckwheat and seemed to be drawing a picture.
どうしたの、夏美？
あそこの花壇にいるの。
ああ、アキラちゃんね。
Akira.
そういや、夏休み。
Pink hair guy?
課題がある？
For some reason, before we started this, the most memorable person I remember in the intro was the pink hair guy. Probably because he had pink hair. Tomato-chan said that the scholarship students also had it tough, then laughed. Normally, students wouldn't be permitted to go outside and paint during class, but he was special. Akira Todo-kun. Chisato-chan and Tamato-chan told me he was talented enough to win a big competition with professional artists, and he entered the school as a scholarship student. The competition happened before I transferred here, so I don't know much more than that. It was a big fuss around the whole school, with reporters pushing for interviews. And surprisingly, Akira-kun was also a childhood friend of Chisato-chan and Tamato-chan. So after I became friends with the two of them, they later introduced me to him. I was able to see his work with my own hands. It was all really shocking. It was impressive.
どう夏美なかなかのもんでしょう。
まあほんと人間誰しも何かしらの取り柄があるってことだよね。
千里にだ
It is
高
a...
くない。
He even has pink.
いやちょっと褒めただけで照れるなよ。
今の褒め言葉だったの？
Shisato-chan was standing beside me, making a fuss with Akira-kun. But I couldn't take my eyes off that picture. I was drawn in from the bottom of my heart. The green of the trees had a vivacious shimmer. The many colorful flowers seemed to shine brilliantly. The sky was only colored blue and white. It was simply a painting, but it didn't just look painted. It had the breath of life and time. It had beauty and power beyond the picture.
こんな素敵な絵を私と同じ年の人が描けるなんて。
夏美
There's no jealousy or inferiority complex in my heart, just respect and admiration. So my eyes began to tear up, and Akira's unfriendly mood changed to surprise.
そのよくわかんないけどごめん。
Sorry, my picture made you cry. I didn't think it was that bad, man.
違うの。私絵を見てこう感動したの。
I don't think that I've ever been moved to tears from just a picture, so it must be very powerful for her heart.
私全然何も取り柄がないから偉そうなこと言えないけど、本当にこの絵とても素敵だと思う。こんなに花とか草木が綺麗だなんて私。
At that moment, I saw the face Akira was making. It's high praise, Jesus. He was blushing a little red, but he was smiling happily, looking straight at me. Yeah, even now I could remember it clearly. Because at that moment I realized I liked Akira Todo-kun! Ooh. Potential romance incoming. Wonder if there's gonna be competition from the two childhood friends though. But we got the bonus, because being a childhood friend of a crush is actually a debuff in anime logic. Alright, boys, so it looks like we're coming to an end
ほら起きて夏美。
right before the 1 hour mark. So perfect timing. Thank you guys for watching this episode. Hopefully you enjoy it. You know, I'm liking it. I'm liking the new cast, you know. Obviously doing a school story in Higurashi without the main cast, a little hesitant, but each of the characters have their life of their own. There's similarities within them, but they feel pretty unique in total. But yeah, should be fun. Well, we'll see what Natsumi is up to next time. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.